Welcome to the JROTC Gala.
I am Cadet Lieutenant Nicholas McLaughlin from Murrah High School. It is my honor and pleasure to serve as your program guide this evening. Welcome to the Jackson Convention Complex and the 11th Annual Jackson Public Schools Consolidated JROTC Military Gala. Thank you for coming to help us honor and celebrate the outstanding community service and dedication of the JROTC cadets in the Jackson Public Schools District and the celebration of 87 years of JROTC in the district. We have over 955 attendees at the Military Gala. The theme for this year's gala is Celebrating Excellence. This theme highlights the achievements of JROTC cadets both in and out of the classroom.
Left.
Mark.
Color guard, out. Center, face. Freeze it, go.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright songs through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the hope of the brave? Home of the brave.
Callaway High School is hosting the colors this evening. They're commanded by Cadet Corporal Treasurer Wiggins. And the members of the men's chorale are Zachariah Tolliver, Stromile Willer, Jalen Williams, Nicholas Stuckey, Nicholas Liddell, and Jacoby Davis. They are under the direction of Mr. Jamie Jones.
Forward, mark. Mark time, mark. Color guard, out. Center, face. One step forward, march. Left, face. Forward, march. Left. Left.
Cadet Major Monique Pirtle from Forest Hill High School will now provide the invocation.
Lord, we thank you for allowing us to gather in fellowship to recognize the outstanding achievements of the Jackson Public School District JROTC program. Continue to instill a sense of pride, commitment, discipline, and service in the hearts and minds of the cadets and the communities in which we live and serve. Continue to allow us to improve in our academic performance so that we may continue to move the Jackson Public School District forward. Bless the food that was prepared for the nourishment of our bodies. Amen.
Amen. We will now have the official welcome by Cadet Colonel Talon McLaurin from Callaway High School, the JPS JROTC Cadet of the Year for school year 2022-2023, and JPS JROTC Cadet Brigade Commander for school year 2023-2024. 2024.
On behalf of the Jackson Public School District, Director of Army Instruction, Colonel Frederick Brown, the senior Army instructors, the Army instructors, cadets, parents, administrators, and invited guests, I am extremely delighted to welcome you to the 11th Annual JROTC Military Gala for the JPS District, celebrating 87 successful years of JROTC in the JPS District. We have worked so hard this semester to maintain our academics, to serve this great city and surrounding communities, and by excelling in competitive events throughout the state, accumulating the first semester of the school year 2023-2024 with an execution of tonight's celebration. Let's capture some magical moments and let's create happy memories. And let's surround ourselves with laughter and friendship as we celebrate this event in the holiday season. Welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are honored to have several distinguished members of our Jackson Public Schools administrative team and other distinguished guests present tonight. Our host for this evening's event is Colonel Retired Frederick Brown, Director of Army Instruction for Jackson Public Schools. Our featured guest speaker is Mr. Shad White, Mississippi State Auditor, Dr. Edward Sivak, President, Jackson Public School Board of Trustees, Ms. Barbara T. Hilliard, Vice President of Jackson Public Schools Board of Trustees, Ms. Cynthia Thompson, a member of the Jackson Public School Board, and she accompanied by her husband, Mr. Iman Thompson. Dr. Eric Green is a superintendent of the Jackson Public Schools District. Dr. Michael Cormack is a deputy superintendent for the Jackson Public School District. Dr. William Merritt, JPS Chief of Staff. Ms. Lakita Marshall-Thomas is the JPS Assistant Superintendent for High Schools. Ms. Deanna Woody is the Assistant Superintendent for Elementary Schools, Division 1. Dr. Kathleen Grisby is the Assistant Superintendent for Elementary Schools, Division 2. Ms. Paulette Moore, Mayor of Pickens, Mississippi. Ms. Stephanie Foster, member of the Mississippi House of Representatives. We also have Mr. Ashby Foote, member of the Jackson City Council, Ward 1. Mr. Foote is accompanied by his wife, Ms. Susie Foote. Ms. Vernon W. Hartley, Jackson City Council member, Ward 5. He is accompanied by Ms. Pamela D.C. Jr. Ms. Rosa Beckett, CEO of Jackson Municipal Airport Authority. Ms. Jane Alexander, President and CEO of Community Foundation for Mississippi. Dr. Martha McRaven Oliver, Colonel, U.S. Army retired. Finally, we have First Sergeant Charles Weathersby, Operations Non-Commissioned Officer, JPS JROTC, who is accompanied by his lovely wife, Ms. Lourdes Weathersby. At this time, Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Mackenzie Whitney from Lanier Junior Senior High School will provide the history of the Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps, better known as JROTC.
The United States Army Junior ROTC program is a continuous success story. From a modest beginning of 6 units in 1916, JROTC has expanded to 1,701 schools today and to every state in the nation and American schools overseas. Enrollment in ROTC has grown to over 300,000 cadets with over 4,000 professional instructors in the classrooms. Comprised solely of military retirees, JROTC instructors serve as mentors and role models developing the outstanding young citizens of our country. The Junior ROTC program came to the Jackson Public School District in the mid-1930s with the only program in Mississippi located at Central High School in downtown Jackson. In 1971, that program was transferred to Lanier High School, designated the 1st Battalion. From 1977 to 1980, the 2nd through 7th Battalions were activated at Merle, Wingfield, Callaway, Forest Hill, Provine, and Jim Hill High Schools. Currently, the district has 7 Army JROTC battalions. Bailey's 8th Battalion was inactivated in June 2012 when the high school transferred to a middle school. The Junior Cadet Corps, a JROTC-like program for middle school students, was established at Powell Middle School in August 2016. Our JROTC cadets are the most active students in Jackson Public Schools. Beyond graduation from high school, our top goal is for 100% of our graduates to be formally accepted to institutes of higher learning. Last year, 99% of our graduating seniors achieved their goal, and we're looking to exceed that level this year. Approximately 90% of JPS JROTC graduates continue their education in colleges and universities across our state or nation annually. About 20% of our graduates either enlist in the military or continue in senior ROTC after high school. For school year 2023 to 2024, we have 1,329 cadets enrolled in JROTC. We're striving to continue a legacy of excellence in preparing young people for successful living in high school. Jackson Public Schools JROTC is truly living the mission, motivating young people to be better citizens, and we are nested with JPS core values of equity, excellence, growth mindset, relationships, relevance, and positive and respectful culture.
At this time, Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Elia Price from Callaway High School will provide the history of the military dining out.
Formal military dinners are referred to as dining out when civilian guests are in attendance and dining in when only military members are in attendance. So officially, tonight's event could be considered a dining out. The dining out follows the same basic rules of the dining in, but is often tailored to minimize some of the military traditions, thus making it more interesting to civilian guests. The practice of dining in is thought to have formally begun in the 16th century England in monasteries and universities, though some records indicate that militaries have held formal dinners for as far back as the Roman legions. During the 18th century, the British Army incorporated the practice of formal dining into their regimental mess system. Custom and rules of the mess were soon institutionalized rules known as the Queen's Regulations. The Americans, taking many of their tradition from the British military, held mess nights in the 18th and 19th centuries. But the tradition faded after the Civil War. During World War II, the customs were revised in the United States military, initially in the 8th Air Force's unit, which was based in Britain. The JROTC Gala is a modified version of the Armed Forces Military Ball. Its goal is to promote good social skills and the joy of camaraderie. There is also dancing, dinner, and normally an inspirational message from a guest speaker.
Now, we will recognize the Jackson Public School District JROTC Cadet leadership. They are doing an outstanding job at their respective schools, leading the largest and most active organization on their campus. The brigade and battalion leadership are the top cadets at each of our respective JROTC units. These cadets are responsible for providing the overall leadership, purpose, motivation, and directions to students in our units. They have earned their rank and positions based on their overall performance, academically, and their involvement in JROTC activities, as well as other school and community extracurricular activities. This is an elite group of scholars, athletes, and leaders. The brigade leadership and staff were selected as Cadets of the Year for school year 2023-2024 and are serving in their respective battalion. In February 2023, 7 Battalion Cadets of the Year competed for their position of JPS JROTC Top Cadet, hence known as the Brigade Commander. A panel of non-community leaders, business owners, and representatives of the armed forces came together, and each cadet was scored based on several criteria. The brigade commander and her staff are tasked with being the example, providing recommendations, guidance, and mentorship to the 7 battalions that fall under her leadership for the current school year. The overall top cadet for school year 2023-2024, performing the duties of brigade commander, is Cadet Colonel Tylen McLaurin of Callaway High School. The brigade command sergeant major is Cadet Command Sergeant Major Shania Williams of Callaway High School. The brigade deputy commander is Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Jameer Handy of Jim Hill High School. Her guest is Miss Maria Wright. The brigade personnel officer S1 is Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Nicholas McGorthan of Murrah High School. The brigade security officer S2 is Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Sherlyn Rangel Gonzalez of Wingfield High School. She is accompanied by Miss Kevin Rangel. The brigade operations officer S3 is Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Christopher Dawson of Provine High School. He is accompanied by Miss Jaleesa Williams. The brigade supply and logistics officer S4 is Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Shaquila McCoy of Forest Hill High School. She's accompanied by Miss Makira Striblin. The brigade public affairs officer S5 is Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Samir Valadares of Lanier Junior Senior High School. Now, we will introduce the cadet who is currently serving as a battalion commander for each of our JROTC programs. The commander of Lanier's JROTC program, the 1st Battalion, Bulldogs, is Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Mackenzie Whitney. Representing the commander of Murrah's JROTC program, 2nd Battalion Mustang this evening, is Cadet Command Sergeant Major Aaron Myers. He is accompanied by his guest, Cadet 1st Lieutenant Adrian Roberson. The commander of Wingfield's JROTC program, 3rd Battalion Falcons, is Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Erinice Walker. She is accompanied by Mr. Bryce Walker. The commander of Callaway's JROTC program, the 4th Battalion Chargers, is Cadet Colonel Tylen McLaurin. The commander of Forest Hill JROTC program, the 5th Battalion Patriots, is Cadet Colonel Calvin Russell. He is accompanied by Miss Tyria Simmons. The commander of Provine's JROTC program, 6th Battalion, Mighty Rams, is Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Christopher Dawson. The commander of Jim Hill's JROTC program, the 7th Battalion, Tigers, is Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Jameer Handy. The cadet leaders at the Powell Academy of Military Science Trojans are Company Commander, Cadet Corporal Hyrias Frazier, Assistant Company Commander, Cadet Private First Class Deanna Williams, and the Acting Company Sergeant, Cadet Private First Class Joshua Taylor. They lead the Powell Academy Junior Cadet Corps and its enrollment of 113 junior cadets representing 21% of school population. The program was established in August 2016, and cadets continue to lead the way with their motto, Rise Above. At this time, Specialist Brianna Morris of G Company 2nd of the 238th Aviation Regiment will provide the information on the tradition of recognizing our fallen comrades. Specialist Morris is a 2020 graduate of Lanier High School.
You may have noticed the small table set for one that is off on its own. It is reserved to honor our fallen comrade in arms. This symbolizes that they are here with us in spirit. We should never forget the brave men and women who answer our nation's call to serve the cause of freedom in a special way. We are ever mindful that the sweetness of the enduring peace has always been tainted by the bitterness of personal sacrifice. We are compelled to never forget that while we enjoy our daily pleasures, there are others who have endured the agonies of pain, deprivation, and death. I would like to explain the meaning of the items on this special table. The table is round to show our everlasting concern for our fallen comrades. The tablecloth is white, symbolizing the purity of their motives when answering the calls to duty. The single red rose displayed in the vase reminds us of the life of each of our fallen comrades and the loved ones and friends of these comrades who keep the faith. The vase is tied with a red ribbon, symbol of our continued determination to remember our fallen comrades. A slice of lemon on the bread plate is to remind us of the bitter fate of those who will never return. A pinch of salt symbolizes the tears endured by the families of those who have sacrificed all. The Holy Bible represents the strength gained through faith to sustain those lost from our country. The glass is inverted. They cannot toast with us at this time. The chair is empty because they are no longer with us. Let us remember and never forget their sacrifice. May our fallen comrades and their family forever be watched over and protected. Thank you and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Toasting is the ancient tradition of drinking together in honor of someone or some group in order to show respect or appreciation. It is believed that this custom came into wide acceptance after the effects of poisons were discovered. When two persons who might be antagonists drank from the same source at the same instant and suffered no ill effects, a degree of mutual trust was established. Today, toasting is a gesture to honor the person or group being recognized. It is not necessary to drain the glass or even sip from the glass. A mere touch of the glass to the lips satisfies the ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand and secure a glass for the toast to honor this great occasion and the outstanding accomplishments of the Jackson Public Schools JROTC program.
Ladies and gentlemen, I propose a toast to the United States of America. United States.
I propose a toast to the Commander-in-Chief.
Commander-in-Chief.
I propose a toast to the United States Army.
United States Army.
I propose a toast to our fallen comrades.
To our fallen comrades.
I propose a toast to Cadet Command.
To Cadet Command.
I propose a toast to Jackson Public Schools.
JPS.
I propose a toast to the JROTC program cadets.
To the cadets and cadets.
I propose a toast to the class of 2024. To the seniors.
Cadet Colonel McLaurin, our Cadet Brigade Commander, will introduce our guest speaker.
Mr. Shad White began his first term as the state's auditor in July of 2018 and then won re-election to his first full term in the office after establishing a tough, no-nonsense reputation. He holds a certificate in forensics accounting, is a certified fraud examiner, and served as captain in the Mississippi National Guard. The son of an oil spill pumper and public school teacher, White grew up in rural Jones County and went on to earn degrees from Ole Miss, the University of Oxford, where he studied as a Rhodes Scholar, and Harvard Law School. Today, He and his wife Rita and their children live in Rankin County and attend St. Richard's Church. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Shad White, our state's auditor.
It is an honor to be here with you tonight. It's an honor to be able to speak to you. I was not in JROTC. I didn't get the chance to do what you have gone through and experienced, but I serve in the Mississippi National Guard, and I'm an officer in the Guard. The way I got to be an officer in the Guard is I went through officer training school. Colonel Biddick was my mentor. I said, Colonel Biddick, what should I expect at officer training school? And he said, well, look, I'll give you some advice. I think you're going to be fine. You know, you'll learn to march and you'll learn to put your uniform on correctly. You'll learn to do all that sort of stuff. And I wouldn't worry about it if I were you, because they'll tell you exactly what to do. He said, but if I had one piece of advice, it would be this. He said, they're going to break you up into little groups of about 16 people. They're going to call those flights. And if you're in there in the first day, don't be the flight leader. Don't be the flight leader, whatever you do. That's my one piece of advice. Don't be the flight leader. Once we got midway through the first day, we're all there, and we're all standing around, and a major comes in, and he says, all right, look, we got to have a flight leader. And he looked around real quick, and I thought maybe he'd take a vote or something. He looked around and looked down at me. He said, Lieutenant White, flight leader. I was like, oh. But you know what? I decided, all right, I have no choice now. I'm here. I'm the flight leader. I got to do this. And so what I realized for the next few days is the role of the flight leader is to do all the things that you need to do to make sure that your flight is where it needs to be, when it needs to be. So that's not too bad, not too hard, until a few days later. We were leaving the classroom. We just finished up class session, and the door opened. I was the flight leader, and I marched out, and everybody else kind of marched out behind me, and they were kind of lollygagging. And unfortunately for me, a drill sergeant who was across the field saw all this happening, and he said, White, what are you doing? And I said, we're going to lunch, sir. And then I saluted him, and he said, don't salute me. You're an officer. I'm a sergeant. Put your hand down. You're confusing everybody. He said, what are you going to do about this? And I said, well, sir, I guess we better try again. And he said, yeah, I think that's a really good idea. You're a genius. Did you go to Harvard? And I said, yes, sir. So we all turn around, wait a second, go back out there. We're crisp. We're on it. We look good. I look over to the drill sergeant, and I'm like, he's going to tell me I did a good job. And he turned around and walked off, and that was it. That was it. And I realized something in that moment. This is my leadership lesson, and this is the reason why I told you this story. Being a leader means taking responsibility for what the other people around you do. You hear me? Being a leader means taking responsibility for what the other people around you do. You're not just responsible for yourself, you're responsible for your team. That's a leadership lesson that I learned as a grown man. But you, JROTC cadets, you are lucky. And I'm jealous of you. You are lucky because you have learned lessons like that now. If you will choose to apply those lessons, you can be as successful as you want to be. It is a choice that you make. You have now been given the tools. Will you choose to apply lessons like that? But I also know that this is not just a gift to you either. I know JROTC isn't just some present that they wrapped up and gave to you. You guys worked. You guys worked in this program. You worked to earn your uniforms. And you should be proud of that. Some of y'all may not know this, but JROTC has a nearly 100% graduation rate, high school graduation rate, compared to a 75% graduation rate for the rest of the school district. That is incredible, and you should be proud of yourself. JROTC has a 96% school attendance rate, compared to something much lower for the rest of the school district. That is incredible, and you should be proud of that. You score on average 3 points higher on the ACT than the other students at JPS. That is incredible, and you should be proud of that. They don't just hand you those points on the ACT. You earn it. You earn it. If you want to be a good leader, you have to lead yourself. And if you lead yourself, what that means is you're going to be willing to do the tough things, the difficult things, the things that are not fun sometimes. And I'm here to promise you, when you finish high school, whether you go to college or whether you go on base or whether you go get a job straight away, you're going to have to do some things, especially early on, that are not fun. Do it well, no matter what anybody asks you to do. Perform with exceptional care. do it the right way, and you will be handed more responsibility. You will be handed eventually a team, and then you can lead them well by taking accountability for those folks along with yourself. If you do that, everybody in this room is talented. You're going to achieve amazing things for your life. Thank you so much for letting me join you here tonight. It's an honor to be with you, JROTC.
Now, we'll have remarks from Dr. Sivak, President, Jackson Public Schools Board of Trustees.
I have many memories of being in this room, but one that is particularly enduring is the one held to commemorate the 50th anniversary of the assassination of Medgar Evers. At the start of that meeting, Charles Taylor, a Jim Hill graduate, whom Ms. Hilliard taught, I believe, who is now the state director of the Mississippi NAACP, welcomed all the attendees in this way. Welcome to Wakanda. So in that spirit of that evening, let me greet you by saying, welcome to Wakanda, the most technologically advanced nation on earth, a black nation. In this room is all the evidence we need to know that black excellence is more than just a comic book story or a movie. You know, that evening, Vernon Jordan gave the keynote address. He knew Mr. Evers personally. They both worked at the NAACP at the same time. He spoke of how dangerous it was to be the field secretary of the NAACP in Mississippi. The threats on Medgar Evers' life at that time were routine and real. Mr. Jordan said they often implored him to leave Mississippi, but that he felt his duty was to do this work. As JROTC cadets, duty and honor are something around which you know a little bit about. You're no stranger to these values, and it should come as no surprise to anyone in this room that the former Mississippi Field Secretary for the NAACP was a veteran of the U.S. Army. Each of you in this room who stand before us today, the scholars in uniform, have much more in common with Medgar Evers than the color of your skin. Mr. Jordan went on to reflect on the ways in which Mississippi, the nation, had changed and how it had not. He shared things that both made him happy with black progress and sad by the way systemic racism still manifested itself today. So as you continue on your journeys that will inevitably be adorned with achievement, I want to ask you if you could do what Medgar Evers did. You know, for those of you who will enlist, we citizens will ask you if you would die for this country. Medgar Evers died for Mississippi. Now, I know it's not fair for me as a white man to ask you to do the same, because I can just walk out of here and not think of any of this again. But I do so because the people in this state who I admire most are the black leaders who continue to give so much to a state that continues to take. And so, as we stand here tonight with the leaders of the next generation in this room, I want to ask, do you have what it takes to pick up the mantle of freedom and justice and to continue the work of Medgar Evers? For that work will never be done, and we will always need all of you. Thank you.
I continue to be so impressed by the leadership and dedication to achievement that our JROTC cadets exhibit each year. For the long-standing trend of high graduation rates, I believe this past year 99%, again as compared to our entire district at 84%. The many service projects that you've completed, the numerous competitions and learning experiences in which you've participated, the countless ways in which you've demonstrated leadership and honor at your school campuses, and all of the positive ways in which you've represented Jackson Public Schools, I salute you. This gala is a special occasion and a time-honored tradition. It's a display of the poise and dignity and respect and discipline for which the military and JROTC programs are known. This gala is a reminder of the range that our scholars have, the ability to lead and participate in such sacred traditions as the toast, an opportunity to present yourselves in formal attire and to act accordingly, and also, perhaps most importantly to some, an opportunity to party with your peers. I want to thank you, Colonel Brown, and the entire team, and all of our JROTC leaders and staff for your undying commitment to service. I want to thank you to Shad White, our Mississippi State Auditor, for your participation tonight and your ongoing support of our JROTC program. And thank you to our amazing cadets for all that you bring to Jackson Public Schools, to the district, and to your individual schools. And lastly, to our cadet leadership. Let's give them another round of applause. I'm excited for the futures that I know are so bright for each and every one of you. And I'm very proud to be leading this district with so many amazing young people who are bound and determined to make this world an even greater place.
You know, sometimes people don't realize there are other people out here in the state of Mississippi working in the background to support our JROTC program. And I just want you to know that Mr. Shad White, he is striving hard to make sure that we obtain what we need, whether it's funds or whether he's communicating with other state representatives in this state. This is an annual gala, a testament to the unwavering commitment of these exceptional young men and women to the values of leadership, service, and citizenship. The JROTC program has long been a beacon of excellence, nurturing the minds and hearts of the future leaders. It instills in its cadets the discipline, integrity, and resilience that are essential for success in any endeavor. Tonight we recognize the cadets who have risen above expectations, who have demonstrated exceptional leadership, and embody the core values of the Jackson Public School District. During our annual JROTC accreditation in 2023, we had 6 units to receive the honor unit distinction of above 98%, and 1 unit to receive a unit of distinction. Over 265 students this past summer attended over 9 STEM camps in 2023. Our scholars, the graduates, received over $5 million in scholarship opportunities. As we reflect on their accomplishments, let us remember that excellence is not merely a destination. It is a journey, a continuous pursuit of self-improvement and personal growth. Our JROTC cadets have embarked on this journey with steadfast determination, embracing challenges and overcoming obstacles with their unwavering resolve. Their commitment of excellence extends beyond the classroom and the parade grounds. They are active members of their communities, volunteering their time and talents to make a positive impact on lives of others. They are the embodiment of the JROTC motto, leadership, excellence, and training, demonstrating through their actions the true meaning of leadership and service. Tonight we celebrate not only their individual achievements, but also their collective impact they have made on our schools, our communities, and our nation. They are the future leaders who will shape the world for better. Sadly, I must share that we lost a great American hero about 3 weeks ago. Lieutenant Colonel retired Kinsey Wallace, my battle buddy and my good friend. Tonight, we would like to establish a $2,000 scholarship in honor of Ken. Sharon, his lovely wife, is here with us tonight. Let's give her a big round of applause. Starting next year, cadets in the JROTC program will be able to compete for the Lieutenant Colonel Kinsey Wallace Scholarship. Only 2 students will be awarded. Each year, the recipients of the award will be announced at this JROTC Gala. To our JROTC cadets, we salute your excellence. I would ask you all to please stand, all our JROTC instructors. Please stand, let's give them a round of applause. Let's stand, ladies and gentlemen. All of our JROTC instructors, please stand. I would like to thank all the JROTC instructors for being committed to our program and ensuring that our cadets are equipped with the right tools to enter the world of the unknown. Ms. Thomas, thank you for being there and coaching me and allowing this program to be flexible and to operate outside of the proverbial box. Thank you to all our principals. It's all about aiding them in their success, and that's what we do. One district moving and one direction. God bless America.
We thank you for attending our 11th annual JROTC Military Gala. We sincerely thank our partners and supporters who helped to make tonight's program possible. We also thank the JROTC Gala Committee members and the Jackson Convention Complex staff for their work in planning and coordinating this event.